Earlier, Abidon introduced the Deputy Speaker na Parliament. We na Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conteh. We na the Chairman for the Public Accounts Committee and also the Assistant Auditor General Audit Service Salo Mori Lansana. And now I want to welcome Abubakar Kamara. We na the National Coordinator for Budget Advocacy Network BAN. Well, Audit Service Saloon na the Supreme Audit Institution na Saloon. We dey for audit government institutions and other entities them we dey receive couple on behalf of the people of Saloon. And this na power with the 1991 Constitution give the Audit Service Saloon for do audits na several area them like expenditure, human resource, procurement, asset management, service delivery, and other one them. And at the end of the day, we audit service done to the report, then can do recommendations them. But over the past year, them the implementation of the recommendation don't be challenged. We get the different stakeholder them the public finance management sector for can tell we within some of the issues them we now the challenge with the implementation of some of the recommendations there. So I want to start with Mori Lansana quick from Audit Service Saloon. We will look at the implementation of audit recommendations now the program Good Morning Saloon. For somebody we they listen now, how una can put the recommendations here together and what will they talk about when we talk about audit recommendation?
Thank you very much, Musa. Well, the recommendation are inside the audit report in there. Of course, the work we they do, if we really able impact on the lives of Sierra Leoneans and how it will able impact on their lives, and then in the recommendations that they make, if actions they don't take them on the recommendations, and they waiting we they do, waiting the constitution give mandate for do inside section 119 subsection 4. It say in the course of the work of the Auditor General, at the end of the year, any irregularity where they can't pay attention, a need for bring account to the people that attention of the people of Sierra Leone, and that attention they now through Parliament that work they can take place. So every year we they put two reports together. The irregularities and then areas where we don't try, we don't follow, we audit process them. From the time we they communicate to the people and say they can't audit you, we go audit you, we observe, we communicate to you inquiries, we discuss with you for let you address them. Then we send report to you, draft report for let you address. Then when dinner day, the people they don't make any effort, institution do not make any effort for address their issues and their issues and they border around things that will affect me and you. We relate to the general Sierra Leoneans and their lives, and also with the impact on the image of the country. Mind you, the help we government they get now, waiting government able gather for itself internally, and waiting sorry heart people then when I don't know that they can and decide say let's help Sierra Leone. So they equally that image they equally dent Sierra Leone. So we can put them together. Meaning we don't work, we don't try. Now we communicate to Parliament inside the Auditor General annual report, and any outstanding issue we left there, how they for address them, waiting at the effect, the impact of them on one the institution, two the country, then the people them definitely the recommendations that they can do for let they take actions. So when you talk about concerns around actions or recommendations, now a concern to everybody, because year in year out is like people that keep talking now, we will know think they inside the audit report. Now because the actions and they will need for let be taken on the recommendations, and they will not able see it to that level they will foresee them, because the expectation of everybody Sierra Leoneans is not 99.9%, it is 100%. So even if you extend that above 100%, that is the expectation. Just like we said, the work. Even if you rate it to 78%, it's not enough. Even if you rate it to 98%, it's not enough. The people that can need more for do. And I guess that more they don't make, we don't go into so many other types of audit that we do, because first thing be just financial. Compliance come with the hope that we use that route today for let people that still act. Now the same story. We don't bring specialized audit like performance audit. We don't bring a cam. It's still telling the same story. So now I make it be a concern to we, it be a concern to citizens, it be a concern I believe say to other actors and within the accountability landscape. So now me today we talk of action on audit recommendations then.
Now, broad areas them we una they look at like expenditure, procurement, human resource, asset management, service delivery, and other one them. What now some of the recommendations we can run through the audit report them year after year?
Well, the report, how the report can go, they make sure say the key areas and we every year the yearly report can capture, we bring account under themes. The themes and it can be so many other things under them. Like let's look at expenditure management, for example. Waiting they govern generally public financial management operations in Sierra Leone. Now legal regulatory framework there. We get the Finance Act where they can pass year in year out. We get the Public Financial Management Act of 2016. We get its regulations, when our Public Financial Management Regulations of 2018. We get the Procurement Act of 2016 and the regulations of 2020. Then we get the Income Tax Act. We get the manuals, procurement manuals, and even the Audit Service Act and other legal framework. Then now they guide the Civil Service Code and regulations. Now they guide the operations there. So we come to procurement, for example. Now the act, the manual, and the regulation. Now in the guide on how procurement activities for take place in Sierra Leone. So normally when they do procurement, we focus on compliance because now their laws and they able to tell we whether the operations are properly guided. Even though now we don't move beyond just the compliance aspect, we move beyond the delivery. If now item we for construction we for do services we for render based on procurement activities we don't take place. So now that thing then so when you are in breach of one, it means you're not able to comply with them. So the area outside you're not able to comply with, now they identify and recommend for they able to comply with them. For example, if they talk say for split, now law that procurement threshold the way procurement set at, below which you can go do shopping when a quotations you can take, above which they say you can make competition come, national competitive bidding. You get another threshold when international, the national you go make an locally. But you get period away for advertise. All of this now procurement laws and so them put them. Right. So when you not comply with that thing, then it becomes of concern to the auditors. Then you can flag them. Number two, let's go to expenditure. The key thing per expenditure they say any public money, there is no way you can spend one dime of public money. Way one, raise payment voucher. And for that raise payment voucher, you for don't make sure say budget day for that money day. Then somebody don't request for that activity for take place, approval don't take place. Then if the activity take place, you put all the documentation together for support that payment day. But over the period, we don't see say some people then the shortcut they get are just two things they need. One, money in a bank. Two, checkbook readily available. Two people for sign, the two people they don't sign, they don't take the money. They don't whatever they don't do with them. So the objective of the auditor now for tell the people then say their money then their resources they don't use that for the intended purpose. But in the event where now withdraw no more as if from bank, they are not see any other request, any of that document they were don't talk about. Would that not be for talk say that money you use them for the purpose for which you don't take them for? That now one aspect and let's go to the human resource component. The human resource component year in year out to the see government they cry, people then they don't college, they see they don't get work. But government say it get huge payroll activities the way they pay money, the way they pay on human resource, that is people the way it don't employ. But when they go audit, we say fine, no problem. Every institution where they go, one, they don't just employ you, they employ you for like do work. One we want to see whether the people they exist and whether the work where they employ them for do, whether they do them. Now, when we go to institutions there, we can talk say, you know what? This not the payroll. They take them from accountant general, waiting at the money where government don't pay for the year for personnel the inside that institution then they. We say, you know what? We want physically see the people then they. Physically, what we say physically, for the in absentia, wherever you do, we want for see you. Some units then they then spread all over the country. We save all this service, we spread all over Sierra Leone. We get team now, the north, the south, the east. So we'll go like, for example, if we audit radio democracy, now yeah, but if radio democracy get units across, if we can headquarter, the headquarter list will give would they match that headquarter list with the names there on the payroll? That is the staff list and the names there on the payroll. And we can even request for further documentation there, like the personnel file for match, whether the certificate the way you say you get the records the way you get and all this, whether for support that. But over the period, don't realize say most of the figures the owner they see on human resource where they lead to issues the way people they say this now loss to government is that they can get number of personnel there on the payroll, that is suicide salary they come out every month, say that they pay their personnel. But when you go to the institutions, the personnel they don't exist. They don't ever exist. So well, that is how that's what, because if they don't exist, then definitely whether na ghost now, whether na air workers now, that we don't know, but physically we know we will see them. When you talk about asset, my brother, asset where they buy like that thing they will see, so these are assets. We can want see them physically, we see them physically, therefore be recorded somewhere, therefore be marked for no say it belong to radio democracy. But they can spend huge money, say they don't buy asset them. Where we go, we say we want physically see the asset then they. Those assets are not there. On procurement, they say they don't construct, they say they don't buy drugs in a hospital. But people they still cry for drugs. Simple gloves they're not in there. When we go to that place and the construction will not see them, the drugs there will not see them, the gloves there will not. So now some of the things then this way spread across. We can talk within the audit landscape. We can categorize under the issues and they.
Alright, most we una can put on a reports now do. Plenty people can concern, especially individual we get for do it maybe contract and the rest. At times when I pull and go tell the public again say waiting inside the report not to basically outside the problem can they we make after one can pull on a report you get people then we can question on a for certain thing them way then say not to so it be, for example like gentle.
I wish the people that go there for explain that.
For
maybe
example, gentle,
maybe
I guess you are aware of that.
Maybe they get challenges. That name way they call I know say na service provider. So many not to focus of audit. The focus of audit was a public account, when a Ministry of Finance and Accountant General, the government account, when are the chief accountant of government, now the Accountant General, where they under the Ministry of Finance. So the law of this country talks say every year 3 months after the year and the Accountant General for the information for put the financial statement of government for give to the Auditor General for let the Auditor General audit them. That was done for 2022. They submit and give, and when they submit and give, all the processes we concern about audit, we they do na procedure, we they do all the procedure per every single statement we make inside that financial statement they we for the position for ascertain for satisfy ourselves. The satisfaction we they get, not to satisfaction when our individual satisfaction. We get laws them now this country where they govern the preparation of the financial statement and the Accountant General the state term basis of preparation of the financial statement. And the state term which laws them, which processes that we don't take for prepare the financial statement, and we get international standards them we govern the preparation of the financial statement and they put on there. So what would they do? The laws then we don't indicate say now then they don't consider for prepare that financial statement and the international standards that we don't put. Say now there they don't follow for prepare that financial statement. Now they no more would they go take and compare and contrast the information we don't submit give we and the figures in the financial statement. When it comes to performance, that is any expenditure or whatever spending we don't do, then we need evidence for support those statements we don't make. In the course of looking at those evidence, if we see anything we're not satisfied to we, what would they do? They communicate that to them. So with regards to your reference point, we observe, we communicated to the one that we prepare the financial statement, and we then give we say we get concerned with regards ABC and the activity where they mentioned they are not to be the only thing no more. We get so many other activities with regards to revenue, with regards to tax liability, so many with regards to reconciliation with NRA, so many other issues. Now when those issues were catalogued and communicated to Accountant General address majority of the issues then. That's why today we even talk of the opinion we will give the government of Sierra Leone. Because if the initial issues that will be catalogued, if they not be able to address them, then the opinion of government not for them good. But today if we talk about good opinion of government of Sierra Leone, because they address majority of the issues. However, if issues then they were bordered around services when are concerned to we, then those issues we still need for flag them. So the issue we don't identify there. Now one of the issue down there will not be satisfied with the submission that we have made and the explanation where they give we now make we flag inside the audit report.
Continue for the with me inside the program in name Namori Lansana, Deputy Assistant Auditor General for Audit Service Salon as we there for look about things them. We don't unbug the implementation of the recommendation them we Audit Service Salon Kingi. Musa?
The program Good Morning Salon they continue as earlier we introduce the Deputy Speaker of Parliament. We then Parliament get key role for debates and implement some of the recommendations them of the audit report. And Honorable Ibrahim Tawa, this BNTM, be elected as Speaker of Parliament, will automatically make the chairperson for the Public Account Committee, and the Public Account Committee that they in charge for debates or implement the audit recommendations them. Welcome again, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conteh at the program. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning, Musa. Good morning, Sir Leone.
Yes, you just don't listen to Mori Lansana on the areas them we then can audit and the things them we then can put and how they can arrive at conclusion for put the audit recommendations them together. First of all, let we look at your position as Deputy Speaker in charge of the Public Accounts Committee. Let we look at the role of this committee or Parliament in debating audit report or implementing audit recommendations.
I tell you, thank you, Musa. The role of Parliament in the entire audit process now that firstly, the audit service they work for Parliament. Then an extension of parliamentary scrutiny on accountability, transparency, and other activities they will get for cover financial handlings now the governance space. Now, I make way them prepare the reports. They submit the report straight to Parliament, to the Public Account Committee, where the table report they now the table of Parliament for the attention of members of Parliament. However, the Constitution in subsection 5, where I'm not saying part of the conversation today, of section 119 require Parliament for debate the Auditor General's report and refer a recommendation to a committee therein. But because Parliament in the same Constitution, 1991 Constitution, in section 94, has the power to regulate itself, and part of the regulatory document, the way Parliament they use for regulating itself now, the standing orders of Parliament, as provided by the Constitution, the standing order in SO 76 puts the Public Account Committee as the committee we responsible for not only the report of the Auditor General, but also the audited financials of all public corporation and public enterprises. So it is the responsibility of the Public Account Committee for make sure say every public corporation or public enterprise where they operate under an act of Parliament, where that public enterprise then the auditor must provided by law in their acts, and they are supposed to take their account, the audited account, submit to the minister to cabinet, and cabinet the minister for table and Parliament. And when once it is tabled in Parliament, it becomes a document of the Public Accounts Committee, which will scrutinize and line by line and see the issues the way the audit service go see before then they go there. That is to say, for example, if the public enterprise like EGTC, where the current audit report they say both them payables and receivables is in trillions, huge sums. I hope say than they now account 101. You receivable now what thing they for pay you. You payables now what you for pay person. So if you look that one, they go realize say the entire structure, if they were following the act way on bundle NPA, we set up EGTC and EDSA, you realize the EDSA the situation for be done picked up by Parliament, and the good side but the law and the provisions and the law now that I don't know if it is section 51 or 54 of the Public Financial Management Act, we make provision for set off. So if them report the be done they come, Parliament for we don't take proactive measures for make sure say agencies that within government will get for pay EDSA. I'm just making assumptions and not say agencies think for pay them. We get for pay EDSA, then for don't begin set them money and they off against them allocations them, so that whenever we don't they go into the situation where they run into. So now that is just one. The crux of the thing where everybody know about the Public Account Committee and the Auditor General's report. I want for pay due respect to everybody who don't head the Public Accounts Committee before me, and one for say thank you for the work they don't do, because they work and they don't set the basis for the Public Accounts Committee for them and the public and be a public discourse. But everybody where they come with new things and they come with new energy for able for transform and transition the committee. So I want for say me chairmanship in the committee now for see how we go enhance the constitutional provisions and the standing order requirement in a parliament so that the committee will be what is supposed to be the number one committee in a parliament.
Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conteh, Simoso when the chairman for the Public Accounts Committee. Firstly, before I start for ask you a question, I want to say congratulations, and I think this be the first time we don't kind of get the democracy after we be deputy speaker. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, now you don't mention about honor role. We are in you say audit service alone they work for honor and honor can look into different issues them where they inside the audit report. Let's look at collaboration. How collaboration don't like between honor the committee, ACC and audit service alone, because we can remember back the issue we may happen between ACC and the same committee on the issue of who that own the document. So how collaboration don't like between UNA and the institution?
The supreme document in every country where Kelsen called the GONOM, and Kelsen we introduced the concept of the GONOM, where the idea of bring a number of other norms together and form the supreme law way will be reflective of all the other norms them, where na the GONOM na the constitution. And the constitution, anything we come out of the constitution, not get the power for overrule the constitution under section 108, 15 or so. So the point is clear that there is no law. We don't give anybody a control over the audit report, except the constitution. We put parliament in firm control of the audit report. Whatever issues the way parliament they investigate from the audit report, if they are criminal, because we not get prosecutorial powers, we have powers of the High Court for enforce the production of documents and compel the appearance of witnesses, subscribing them to oath under section 93, but we don't have prosecutorial powers. Because we don't have that, if we see say the issue raised by the audit service, it is a blatant disregard for process, procedures and the laws we establish and control the financial management space, then we can refer to other institutions like the ACC where you get prosecutorial powers for continue the investigation and prosecute that person there. But in terms of ownership of the document is owned by Parliament, and it is only Parliament that has the right to review, for conduct hearing, and for recover monies them we supposedly are unresolved issues raised by the Auditor General. So the point is, if you've gone through the Auditor General's report, you will realize that the issues over the years have been the same, and there were issues raised in 2018. They are still raising those same issues in the same MDAs, and the responses have been almost the same. If you look at, for example, the Road Maintenance Fund Administration, they have a backlog of payables and receivables spanning over 3 years. It should not happen. We either get a recovery mechanism, or we go by the law as provided by the Public Financial Management Act, follow the processes and write off, so that the audit reports no go continue for the reflect on them. And for let you write off, there are stages the way you get for fulfill. For let this particular amount na a payable or a receivable qualify for write off. If it is a recoverable debt and the person will get for pay this debt is viable, then why should the debt be classified as non-repayable? So these are the things that we get for the can look at. If you also look at a very serious concern where the audit report is, in fact, I think say in the report of 2022, the one agency where they spend more time and use more pages for write on Sierra Leone Commercial Bank. They wrote extensively on Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, looking at everything from vaults to GLs to treasury to assets to procurement. There is no GL in commercial bank, no trial balance in commercial bank or balance. Every one partner they're in balance. So it's a concern. They are raising a red flag for us. They are giving us a light that you have to pay attention on Sierra Leone Commercial Bank. Let's not forget that Sierra Leone Commercial Bank is wholly owned by the government of Sierra Leone. And there has been calls from partners, donor partners, that this bank for come out under government's control. So if the audit service don't begin to raise some flag on Sierra Leone Commercial Bank in 2021, they raised issues that were the same in 2022, and then issues then still remain unresolved. We are not saying putting the audit service don't raise is crime. We are saying there are issues of concern to us as Parliament, as the committee, and we take them seriously. So going back to collaboration, since I don't take over, we've had a series of engagement with audit service, and hopefully tomorrow I will don't engage them. The auditor general don't consent, and we don't get a proposal for tomorrow for the members of the committee be trained by the audit service. When I mean trained, educated on the use of the tools them way you take for investigate or conduct hearing on the audit report. Because let's not assume that when we are members of parliament we are the cleverest of all people. No, it's not true. We are not financial experts. We get different backgrounds them, and then backgrounds then they speak to different issues. We might have general knowledge on issues, but in-depth knowledge is what we need for letting you conduct proper hearing on the audit report. Now, this audits, this PSC, they have to pay serious attention to one thing we will not ever look at now this the PSC before. Maybe now the GPFS, the General Proposed Financial Statement. The issue is for a particular service provider came from the GPFS. The GPFS is saying at a particular point in time, the audit service is saying the GPFS is speaking to this payment, $36 million, at a particular point in time, when the correspondences between the chief executive officer and the director of the Ministry of Finance who is responsible for that desk day not show say there has been any request. I'm coming, let me finish. Let me make the specifics. I'm not saying it is criminal. I am saying these are things that we are going to look at in depth. They say there is no correspondence between the service provider and government as to a delay or suspension of the work. So the money in question we audit service they raised now that why are we paying penalties for a work that we did not suspend? So it's like you did not come to work, and after 1 month we say okay, we need to pay you salary. You say no, now I suspend me. You say where's the correspondence that I suspended you from coming to work? That is what audit service is saying, that government did not suspend this function. And for put context to them, in the forensic audit of 2019, this was a low township project, because that is the project, has been a subject of the conversation. Initially, the initial contract amount was $14.3 million. It was reviewed to $16.9 million in 2016. The project was supposed to start in July, 1st of July 2016. It was reviewed to 16.9, that is a variance of $2 point something million. And after the forensic audit, the project was reviewed further upwards to $42.787 million. So these are the things that we are going to look at. What is wrong with the GPFS? We also have to pay attention, because from the GPFS they also see there are contractual obligations the way people are not signed up to, where they meet the conditions of their contract, and we are going to pay attention to it. We also realize the audit service over the years they have been drawing the attention of Parliament and the PSC on the issue of waiver. Parliament is the only authorized body under section 110 of the Constitution. We get power for all taxes in Sierra Leone. Now, if Parliament don't pass any agreement, if you give you power for get written consent on anything, if you not do a right under the law, we're not going to go Parliament pass the agreement cover them. Then if you sign up to them and get obligation under them, then you continue for own up to the obligation there. But the point is, if Parliament don't ratify any agreement and you alter anything you get for do with tax, where Parliament don't approve, we now usual occurrence we don't they approve. Now something where you're not supposed to happen. If anybody don't benefit out of that, they're supposed to pay the money back. Then before I end on this subject of collaboration, you will realize we just don't put out a schedule. And in that schedule, I don't authorize the clerk for let amend part of the schedule, for let include the NRA in the first meeting of the 10th. So it's going to be the Ministry of Finance, the NRA, and the Accountant General. Why? Because the issues that will connect the three agencies are interwoven. If you come to transit accounts, let me finish.
Honorable, this GPFS, the General Purpose Financial Statement, the whole issue on its own way make I want to do some follow-ups them, and also this issue of transit accounts, because we don't see some institutions then they say, okay, NRA for instance, the last time the ACC boss leader say about 30 billion missing. Now one of the commercial banks and win NRA money when government don't pass law say all the money for in a single treasury account. Let me say at the holiday because we get plenty for discuss on this account and the money or cash loss, because now two of the areas and this way we could get plenty cash loss them. Now we take them and discuss them. We'll come back to you, Hon Ibrahim Tawa Conteh. We'll come back. We'll look at this GPFS when the General Purpose Financial Statement and also this transit account. Now the key areas them this in the audit report we can lead to cash loss. We want come to other studio guests quickly. We Abubakar come out for the budget advocacy network ban. We na civil society we don't monitor public finance management na the country. Good morning once more. You don't be quiet at the studio for a long time.
Good morning, Musa, and good morning, Israelians.
We look at audit's recommendation as ban budget advocacy network. We're a network of civil societies where they work on public finance management for give strength to accountability and transparency. How we can describe the issue of the implementation of audit recommendations?
You know, from a practical point of view, much has not been done in terms of addressing this very serious concerns them where they are the audit reports. From the policy perspective, we don't see a lot of drives in terms of proposing some putting some clause there in the Finance Act, developing the standard operating procedure, but all of them policy what they don't put in place. So we've actually enough geared towards increased implementation and not become effective yet, and we hope is that those policies them will enhance, improve implementation of the general reports, because we as a network and as Parliament and audit service, we all get one single goal, that is for ensure say the people of Sierra Leone receive services from the resources the government they provide, whether they pass the resources and they on the hands of ministry, department, and officials then follow the handler. And if we they get year in, year out, issues them where they affect service delivery, it means say the people of Sierra Leone they lost a lot. Musa, just now I just look at quickly just the withholding tax them. The money for the withholding tax them where they deduct any pay, that money they enough for pay 1,000 teachers then for one only year. So just imagine 1,000 teachers there, how many people they go cater for in terms of providing education. So these are the services then where the people are selling the loss. When action they not did, when the various players then they pay much attention in taking action. And for me, I just want to say, I see the notice yesterday. If I'm not live, I stand to be corrected, but to me now one of the first time we see they give the public a very long notice for say they can't look at the issue they are. So the public is invited for come and listen, because they discuss the issue on the behalf of the people of Salone. So these are actions that we really welcome, and with the hope that those issues are dealt with and there is a report being produced, not just being report being produced, and there's a follow-up on the issues or the recommendations on that particular one day. Because I mean, last week we launched the open budget survey, and one aspect where the open budget survey look at now the role of Parliament in providing oversight on the people's resources, and it's quite clear. Parliament na 30% upon 100. We tell you say they provide weak oversight on the people's resources, and a couple of reasons then they will respond for that. Of course, one of the main one, the actions that they take for address the audit recommendations. We see for the past 2 to 3 years, whenever we get a report on the Auditor General's report, where they really put on the website. If it is when on their websites, we will really tell citizens say these are the steps them from the power on agree. These are the steps they don't take for ensure say una money is secure and they use them for the intended purpose.
What do you think say don't be the challenge over the past years? Them we make the or don't they tap the implementation of the audit recommendations?
You know, Honorable mentioned something also. We're very important. Audit service they work for Parliament. And they report to directly. In fact, Parliament they appoint auditor for audit service. So if they don't do the report, they don't report to you. You will get the one and I get the documents now. It means say one of the greatest challenge is the Parliament. Secondly, you know, the way we governance system is being structured, Minister of Finance again, as per the PFM Act, gets a very big role for play in providing oversight in their own way. And we also get an internal audit department within Minister of Finance. We'll get staff now, almost all of the ministers them, who are also supposed to play a role. But again, for example, the internal audit department, let's look, what is their role? Are they empowered? Do they have the power to take that decision? In fact, in some of ministries, them now the corner they can get the office, they don't even know about themselves. So it's a whole 360 aspects where each and every player gets a role for play in terms of ensure say the audit recommendation have been addressed.
Okay.
And if we get a cut off in any of them change the day in terms of looking at it, there will be problem. But firstly, but the most important thing, Parliament get a very big role for play in terms of looking at the issues in there, provide a report, and follow up on the report in there. Because they get responsibility for delegates. I'm unable to have a talk on that. Say there are some issues that we find out say this now we are a great corruption issue. They say no, ACC, please look at this issue also. Because finance say this is really going to more corruption. So they get also responsibility for delegates. So if Parliament really stand up and do the things them way the people and puts in there for, absolutely we will see some changes. Because one of the things is the issues that they come up, no action been taken. If they see in some instances them, they need to take actions until after all the audit report done. When they go Parliament now, what's going to happen? The case has been closed.
Alright. You mean they talk about some of the issues them we don't embark the implementation of audits report we can come more every year. Now in this case, what do you think so for blame? For not taking action of some of the recommendations that we can do inside the report.
You know what I talk just now, I say the whole audit accountability now look at it from a 360 perspective, where each and every player gets a role for play. And audit service get a role for play, send to Parliament get a role for play, and provide recommendations them. But you know, we didn't get this international criminal court. They say the one who bear the greatest responsibility in Parliament, and they bear the greatest responsibility for actually ensure say actions be taken, because then get the mandate, then get the power for call the one then way responsible to book and ask them for do things them for either reverse station or punish them or for ensure say the people they actually recover the resources we meant for provide services. Mind you, the audit report now, you know, they only look at resources with money laws, everything. There are also very important issues and what they gear towards the ordinary citizens. The poor and the vulnerable, now they mostly rely on government services. Mostly the rich people, they wouldn't sick, they're going to private hospitals them. But that poor man, he get for going to government hospital. And we see the 2020 audit report where get a whole lot of issues around services. For example, the hospital. It is frustrating for no say there are some hospitals based on the report who don't even get anesthetic. As stuff like an emergency, if an emergency happen, that means they go for stitch people painfully. There are hospitals then where the ambulance can get serious problem if there's an emergency for refer people. So apart from the losses and the money then the issues of service delivery now one issue also one let Parliament look into very strongly. How do we ensure that from the issues that we don't raise in the report, how do we ensure that those systems, those services, those equipment or medicine or education services then we're supposed for who for benefit the people and actually benefit people. In my earlier statements, I say we all get one goal for ensure say the people that receive services from the resources we government provide.
Inside the program now, we're going to ICC, outside the finance manager and the Anti-Corruption Commission, Kini Wakase, then they work now with Audit Service Salon for implement audit recommendation them for getting to transparency and accountability na public finance management. They talk this in our interview with Radio Democracy, where they talk about the commitment for support the fight against corruption na audit report. Kini Waka talk more to Musa Kamara inside this interview.
We don't realize say plenty time where audit service the pull na do them report. Plenty offices not they take them seriously. They can make recommendations there. People not they take them serious. Now we don't see say would you work with them for ensure say if audit service say do this, you know, do our ACC the step in without financial implication, they will go prosecute people then.
What are the steps then before we prosecute? Because plenty complaints that don't come. ACC say no. We wait for the perhaps NRA we say in issues then are the audit reports for fail of compliance from institutions then like for the payee or NACIT for the workman them. Would they wait let NRA can complain to we? What are the steps that way ACC they use for arrive at conclusion for take action?
This is for deal with procedure. You know, they just audit service, not they just pull the report now, they go gather people. No, some they get for do with compliance. For instance, if now document that if we present, you know, present them, ACC no go just step in there. We go for wait first, we work with audit service and ensure say this consortium or this entity or this MD don't do so. If they not do them, we go step in. Some other thing and they call them quick fix, call person, do this. But if there are procedures. We not just go step in. We listen to audit service. We work with audit service. This is why collaboration necessary in investigations. We get for listen. If not pay, it get for do to pay you. Waiting cause that one day. What do? We invite the MDA or the individual involved. Now collaboration, now communication with other institutions. ACC not going to work alone.
How una don't they support the implementation of audit recommendations? Because it's now a very serious concern from the audit service salon. Because they need to implement the recommendations then. People can always focus on cash loss, but at the end of the day, even service delivery, the issues that they mentioned, perhaps maybe 2019 audit report go show up, say 2024 audit report again because they need to implement the recommendations.
That's not thing of the past. This is why ACC don't recently renew the MOU with audit service. Communication is key. Now you go find out say what audit service they do. Copper women for Peter. Make you go meet Peter. Service is the winner for Peter. Make you go to Peter. But would you see say service is the thing we meant for Peter, or you could come from nowhere take them. So ACC they ensure say the right people get waiting they deserve. If not that, would take action against people.
Since when una start for take this action? Since or una renew this mandate? Because as far as the last audit report still get challenged them way, perhaps some people in defend and difficult for point at evidence them way ACC don't take action.
We don't take plenty action. There will always be challenges. We don't always take action. If you go and watch now keenly, issues that will carry forward, they are minimal. Unlike previous reports where you see backdated and issues and the camp forward, camp for no, that's not the case again. We ensure so we minimize that now.
What are some of the calls them or assurance that they give to the public for seeker implementation of audit reports there?
ACC there for watch over people, for ensure say we use government corporate properly. If audit service make their recommendations, MDAs are not taken into account. They not, if I now the Ministry of Finance they ensure say if no MDA, any MDA will come forward, you know able honor. You know implement the audit service recommendations. They not give subvention. So like let's say MDA B, audit service make the recommendations there. You know honor that you just take a put it aside. When you go forward, finance not the support.
There was an issue recently we saw in after them pull the recent or latest audit report. The ACC commissioner say, okay, now they're going into action for implement or for enforced implementation of the recommendations of the ACC. World Commoner Parliament say the ACC no go get right for go ahead and implement that. Then therefore wait for Parliament look inside and give the go ahead. When I think say the implementation of audit reports recommendations now Parliament getting an impact on the operation of the ACC.
No, that now procedural issues there. The fact is with go after MDs them for ensure the full implementation of the audit report.
Even without Parliament approval?
We're not going to say with or without Parliament approval. These are procedural issues then. We declare then step then. But the principal objective of ACs now for ensure say MDs then fully honor them report them.
So this not get any impacts on UNA operations?
Operations go ahead.
Even without Parliament debating the audit report?
Well, Parliament gets their responsibility. We said get to responsibility. We don't crisscross their responsibilities, but the truth is the operations go on.
The program Good Morning Salute continue, and that's now Kini Walker, we are the finance manager and the Anti-Corruption Commission. Me explain good reporter Musa Kamara. Also, me explain about the commitment for support the fight against corruption. Na audit report. Well, we'll go for a break. We'll continue the program. Good Morning Saloon.
We get now the studio Mori Lansana, Assistant Auditor General. We get Hon Ibrahim Tawa Conteh, Deputy Speaker of Parliament and Chair for the Public Accounts Committee, and also get Abubakar Kamara, and the National Coordinator for Budget Advocacy Network BAN. I come to you, Mori Lansana. We don't talk on the issue of audit recommendations and waiting at some of the things and we can see during the time for audit. But Hon Ibrahim Tawa Conteh start for talk about an issue when at the general proposed financial statement, when at the GPFS, when you look at the activities and at this space, you get bulk of the issues then we get to do with cash loss. We get to do duty waiver, concessions, and also documentation and other one them. What exactly una can fair notes from time to time na this space here so?
Well, the space, the bulk of the issue really, now that GPFS now in the constitution, now the actual big thing, now the big fish that one day pastoral financial management. Now the government even account that one day. So we see big, if for big pass out in day. And I really the constitution give the mandate to the Auditor General for let express an opinion on them. So now document we now accountant general inside Ministry of Finance, now then they prepare them. Or what government gets, or what government spend. And what our liabilities, if any liabilities they will exist. So that's the bulky document where they give we when they call the financial statement of government, and we own responsibility when the responsibility of the Auditor General is very clear. Now for able to tell the people of Sierra Leone whether that financial statement where they prepare and give a true and fair view of the affairs of government as at the date or the year where that financial statement relates to. So every year they are mandated. That is the accountant general a mandated for some PPI submit that financial statement day. So all of the issues that we see inside there that as a result of looking at that financial statement. Now that operation then in the flow through to other ministries, departments, and agencies then. So the operations of the individual ministries that we know of, they feed into that financial statement. Parastatus operation, they feed into that financial statement. So any side where government they pump in money, or government they receive resources from, na inside under if for day and a day the accountant general for always report to the people there. So if we see say something they will for bring to their attention, as a honorable clearly highlight, we na something for need for flag for the attention of the one their way for able deal with them, then definitely we go do them. But to regards recommendation on the issues and day, as I tell you, but in the way they can't to attention. If people address them, need they foresee them no? So not to foresee now as you observe and as so they communicate them no. As Bakabi rightly say, the responsibility for act on recommendations in the course of we work. Now 360, now everybody responsible, including me and you now, because like we are operation, so una the media is key for help Parliament for able to achieve all that one day. They alone not go able to do them. Right. Now everybody's responsibility. Why I say so? The recommendations then they now last minute now the strategic one now they see where they can in the Auditor General's annual report. It they begin from where we did at the field with a pinpoint responsibility to management. They are the way they charge you the day-to-day responsibility. Now I make a glad you honorable dinner. And tomorrow we get a big day. What they pinpoint the responsibility? If people take it serious for the offices that we they hold, then those issues will not see them inside audit report. Where would they present? Now, what we don't do next? We say don't decide say this. Since now all man fit, we go make let the people that go they know bottom. We don't begin going to achieve those then. The acting auditor general, they going to achieve down level, and they talk about the audit report.
Right.
And they go to district level, and they talk about the audit report. Una self we can engage now. Non-state actors, we they call them, we they tell them about the, you know why would they do that thing? And they was one time me 100 will meet up. They say I don't go to my constituency, Mr. Lansana. People that they ask me about it, I say yes. Right. People should be asking you because we una they under honorable, they una they under for represent we. Now the people they hide in that one then okay. So therefore, if we they produce recommendations then, we for add value. Mind you, the work they do now that value they added nine at the key thing. We for add value to we own life, and they value that now for ensure. If I wanna sign off no more, they sign off on their value then they. But if it is not happening, and the people them we una don't approve because some of the positions then are parliamentary approval, right. Then some of them are presidential appointment, or some of them are based on the civil service arrangement. Then they but the people there for work now service there for render. Then they know they render their services. Then the people should be concerned. So now some of the things they done there. So now we could get a lot of stakeholder engagement. We don't do last week we were on that. We don't call accountability people then, tell them about audit issue. Even the MDAs then and local councils then. They were here last week, audit service. We engage them just for tell them, say what did they do. The people they're not satisfied with at all.
Continue for the with me inside the program, Mr. Lansana. I call over to you now, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conteh. From 2018 to 2019, we know the kind of issues that way you may raise in Parliament concerning things that we get for do with the audit report. We are in you mean concern about the member of Parliament. Then the debate time and reach some tandem concerning that you may get small issue na Parliament. Now you don't get the mantle of chairmanship on the Public Accounts Committee. What do you go do different this time around?
A lot. Firstly, I'm going to engage major stakeholders then at the governance structure for understand say the audit report not to an assessment of government. Now an assessment of the performance of the civil service and the public service. If you take the trumpeted issues of the office of the president have had it. If you go to the audit report specific on the issue. Say the chairman for the presidential infrastructure initiative withdraw a particular money for consultancy from the Lungi Bridge account. The chairman should provide the documentation, supporting documentation, because let's not forget that the process of payment is guided by provisions in the Public Financial Management Act, section 63, 64 and 65. How payments should be made, what are the processes involved, verification and all. And to make matter very, very smooth, section 1, regulation 100 of the Public Financial Management Regulation 2018, it says no money not will be paid out of the consolidated or donor funds without a payment voucher. So regulation 102, they supplement now the provision in regulation 100. They give you now the detail of what in now the documentary attachments they will for follow the voucher. Supporting that is say if they use the computerized payment system, they're supporting document and they only they attach them as copies to the documentation, but you ensure say copies are printed and taken to the accountant general. So even if you do manual processing, you should prepare 2 copies of the documents, can go to the accountant general, then validate them for them send them to Bank of Sierra Leone for them pay. So when they pay that money there, the accountant general they take 1 copy for a file record and give another copy to the MDA for a file record. Now if you go to section 94 of the Public Financial Management Act, initially it gives 15 days for response to audit queries. Yeah, the Finance Act give additional, the Finance Act of 22 give 30 days, another Finance Act of 2024, so don't give 45 days. So if anybody not respond to audit queries within the period and day, then a problem. So differently, like I said, I'm going to engage stakeholders for them to understand, say let nobody not use government as a backstop for say, if you see them begin investigation and say the government are not corrupt. That is not true. So it is civil servants. The act clear, section 13 of the Public Financial Management Act and 15 of the same act say the vote controllers and heads of institutions them, Now they're squarely responsible for the effective and efficient use of public funds.
Honorable Ibrahim Tawa, when Mori they talk just now, I make mention of the general purpose financial statement. We get bulk of the issues them, and I take you to this document for the 2019-2020 audit report. It says from the data in the Asikuda world, 58 non-government organizations that obtained imports, duties, and GST waivers from the Ministry of Finance, totaling 4.5 billion leones. We are not in the NGO Gazette of the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development. We mean na like ghost NGOs thing. And the cash loss na den area are plenty. You as the PAC chairman, what thing you could do in the area of the general purpose financial statements for ensure say some of the issues are we don't come year after year solved?
Now, two people have the right for ask audit service for do any other audits apart from the regular audits or their own audits where they informed out of their daily operations. Then are the president and parliament. That is the clear indication say audit service is working for parliament. Yeah. If in the course of the investigation, because what will they do now? What they can start sooner that we are planning to look at the two most recent audit reports, 2021 and 2022. They join them. Because if you go to one entity of government, one are the Universal Access Fund Development Fund, UADF, you realize that in 2021, the audit service say MNOs and ISPs owe UADF a huge chunk of money, hundreds of millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars. They said that they work with Parliament at the committee, they collaborate with Parliament and the NATCOM at the time for them to resolve the issues. In 2022, this same issue come back. So, what they can treat down under UADF, we are going to treat it holistically. What has happened from 2021 to 2022 so that we resolve the issues. Because we want to create a tracker where they give we the unresolved issues raised by audit service, action taken by the MDAs, implementation of the actions and resolution. So we have a simple document where they communicate how the committee they work. It is good to write bulky documents, nice. But let one person pick the document, understand, say, okay, now this to happen. So, in developing that tracker day, I have informed members that would work with the people in the secretariats, would work with the PAC over time, for let them get that kind of tracker day. So, if we get issue where they connect to as far as 2019, we can go there. So, if you look at where I tell you about the service provider way in the GPFS, yeah, you realize, say, I don't mention 2019 because the connection is coming. The Pekin to in Papa to in Grandpa, we should say it is hereditary. So if we want to clean them, we they go from the genesis and come to the end. Now, the waivers and NGOs, if you go back to this audit report in 2022, they raised an issue of about 58 or I think 58 or more again, where they linked to Ministry of Development. So we are going to look at waiver, and if we see say need day for law ask audit service for conduct a specific performance audit on duty waiver, we can ask them to do that.
We come to Abakar before quickly, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conteh, on this issue of the transit account. Apart from this GPFS, we can get a lot of challenges and cash loss. This transit account now, other one we get challenge because when President Biobi can be make and clear say for control for lock the leakages them, then they count the single treasury account. We mean say all couple for dinner the single treasury account. But when you follow activities recently, they know say or they see say plenty ministry department agencies that get a new account they operate. And the last time the ACC boss be in our studio, they talk about almost billion we missing a NRA account. What in the PAC go do different this time around for ensure say all MDAs then couple then are the single treasury accounts?
We will follow the law. Firstly, the law say in section 47 of the Public Financial Management Act that the Minister of Finance gets mandate to get power for give authorization to ministries, departments, and agencies for open accounts with other commercial banks. Yeah, so it is legal for them to get established, and it is legal for them to get accounts elsewhere. Then now, Regulation 31 of the Public Financial Management Regulation 2018 say every transit account where they authorize for open for be cleaned up and the money for be forwarded to the consolidated fund within 24 hours. So if you go to Regulation 34 of the Public Financial Management Regulation of 2018, it says every account where they open, there must be a service level agreement between the accountant general and the commercial banks. Now the service level agreement in sub-regulation 8, A to whatever number it is, provide the things that way form the component of the service level agreements. And one part one and day now that if for any reason government money stay with you for more than 24 hours, the law they say you forgive remuneration to government, because it is assumed and implied that no bank no dey still put money when no dey invest them. So if you make investment out of that money there, you forgive remuneration. But because government na a partner in development, you say okay, why should they ask you for give remuneration? If your account self go over, it go red because of any transaction where you now cause them, then you say for charge we for that one day. So we'll look at the transit account and see transit account the way don't first of all flout the provisions them and see if I don't keep money them, and when transfer the money, with interest. If not transfer with interest, I'm sorry, we are going to look at it and calculate the interest on the prevailing on the day.
Okay, continue for the with me inside the program. Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conteh, the call over now to you, Abubakar Kamara. Somebody sent a message on Facebook wherein he say, "In Pekinda in a corner because of oxygen." Now, my question is, how you go assess the past chairman then for the PAC, and what you think say, or what will be your recommendation towards the new chairman concerning recommendation them we don't do na audit report year after year?
For we as a network ban, my new ban na network will comprise of 7 institutions them. We will assess them by the level of improving service delivery where the audit report is identified, and the actions where then they take for ensure say then service delivery they improve, for ensure say the people's resources is protected, where then for recover, where certain action for take place take place. And over the past years we will not see much on that particular direction there. So we actually mean say the actions them will for really change people in lives in terms of the services they receive, we not see them. And as I don't mention just now, it's very much important for recover those the resources that go in a lot, because government need them for provide healthcare, for provide hospital, for do a lot of things them. It's also very much important for they also look at the systems them where they in place, where they ensure say citizens them need to receive adequate services. For example, you mentioned one pathetic case, and let me tell you, at some point in time I do some small work for Washington Post, where we try for really determine why picking they die in our government hospitals them. That's the first time I'm going to trauma where I see the number of people where they die as a result of those are as a result of some of the preventable deaths them. You mentioned the issue on oxygen, made on witness and first hand, where premature picking them 3 die at a time because electricity shut down, oxygen need to operate, and a lot of the issues are also then at the audit report. So for we, it's about how do we ensure say the resources the government they provide, they use them the right way for ensuring people they really benefit from the services there. Because as I mentioned earlier, the poor or the vulnerable, the way where they feel government in power, now like you go to hospital clean, the doctor will see him, you able get medicines them, you go to school, teacher go on time, teach him well, the materials they for land. That's one of the ways then where they really feel see government they work for them. Because the rich and the poor, they can go fly out or go or other areas then. So it's about addressing those burning issues then where they really affect the ordinary citizens, while at the same time recovering those resources where the evidence they say you need for recover them, and ensure say the resources then they use them for provide services. One important thing before I close is about the aspect of impunity. We don't see here, and in some instances they say, "But we go to Parliament, we go settle land there." That's why I'm happy the stance from me brother don't begin take in terms of for the first time it published. And in fact, now one of the reasons why the open budget score for parliament also reduced, because the calendar for the hearings, most people now the day they go know, and people remember don't change. But now we don't get a clear hearing. We don't mean say they invite citizens them for them to witness that particular process there. But going forward, we go like for see this process like continue, open, inform people ahead of time, get a comprehensive report, and get a real actionable recommendations them. Just as I more will be talk just now, pinpointing the one who bear the greatest responsibility, and also how do we ensure so we communicate the actions that we don't take to the public. And mind you, most people they feel say, I mean, of course, it's general that actions being taken, they need to communicate, and even if they are small actions. So that feedback aspect is very much important, because they will get confidence. Say, indeed, there are people in the under who they work on their behalf, and look at the things that what they do for ensure them protect with money, without money they for use for provide services for the ordinary citizens.
We'll look over to you now, Mr. Mori. We're not going to better time again. What will be your word of message to Sierra Leone in terms of on our work?
I hope say that you work about go join with this for audit recommendation to strive. Sierra Leoneans, I want to all embrace audit work, and that the recommendation are everybody responsibility. Do ya now bigger the big ministries, department and agencies there. They will try as much as possible for act on audit recommendation. It not only the dent internally, but externally, it dent the image of the country, because audit issue. Some people then don't know then are the external money that they send. Then people that can want to see how the money they are utilized. Internally, it affect you. Like the example where you give somebody they text you say a pikin die. These are the issues who they bring come. Okay. It will happen say now you the issues that way they affect. Sometimes today you in a better position for handle, but assuming something like if I'm booty the good day, then the trouble don't fall. So do you are bigger the big one. That's 2024 for 2023 account. Present the audit that everybody go embrace itself, everybody go come on board, so that we'll act on audit recommendation for make Salone a better place.
Thank you very much, Mori Lansana, and the Assistant Auditor General, Audit Service Salone. We come to Ibrahim Tawa Conteh in the conclusion. We conclude that with a message quick for Manskagbo. They say Tawa keeps making reference to Parliament, the same institution that he told the people of Sierra Leone that is the most corrupt in the country. When have they become credible, make or pass laws that benefit in the country in the difficult times of cost of living crisis?
Well, I want to take time for say he entitled to opinion and the position also clearly don't say what in I intend for do, what in the issues they don't be, and how the issues then they don't unfold over the years. I think some people are just like for people that they moan about things then every day. It's about taking corrective steps. You cannot go back to the point where you go say, oh, Parliament don't drop the ball. Parliament, Abubakar don't say that clearly. Say the possible way to get bear the greatest responsibility in the Parliament. And if I be only different view, I think that will be don't counter that one way Abubakar say. Now to the point of what thing will be my final word. I want to say President Bio don't exhibit exemplary leadership. For the thought alone for putting me forward for a position as sensitive as this, knowing that the possible way they become deputy speaker and the accountability arbiter of Parliament and Sierra Leone shows the president in willingness and in determination for continue for fight one of in 3 words the way we don't declare any inauguration speech, that is for fight against corruption. And fortunately, now that the 3 words are inextricably connected, the war against indiscipline, the war against poverty, and the war against corruption. Right. One and they lead to the other 2. Okay. So President Bio in determination put me forward. Now a clear message to everybody say it is no longer business as usual. And to the MDAs, I want to tell them say when we summon, we mean it. Okay,
thank you very much, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conteh. But quick one, we get for see under you tenor as PAC chairman when I debate the audit reports.
Like I said in the beginning, it is a constitutional requirement, and it is one where a lot of misunderstanding has been created over the years, and we've seen a lot of reputable people served as chairman for the PAC, but we all don't get the belief say our ability to regulate ourselves in Section 94 also involves regulating that aspect of the Constitution. But I am a firm believer that the audit report not a secret, and the fact say they make a secret now they give room to a lot of other people and for surreptitiously they cut and paste the audit report and provide their own opinion. So in my humble opinion and in my position as before, that I believe say the only way for make the audit report and the Auditor General continue for get incentive or for be incentivized in producing that kind of detailed report that they now for way them present the next report, table on a parliament and allow members of parliament for debate them and pass the recommendations to the Public Accounts Committee for hearings and implementation of the recommendation today.
Okay, thank you very much, Hon Ibrahim Tawa Conteh. We come to you, Abubakar Kamara, for your message to Australians them in terms of the commitment of the Budget Advocacy Network for support the implementation of audit recommendations.
Of course, we go for continuously the follow up and collaborate and engage stakeholders and for ensure say they implement the recommendation. I just want to take a cue for what more listeners say. You know, the aspects where they need to implement the recommendation, they also affect our own source revenue. As I don't mention issues around withholding tax, but also more importantly, there is this World Bank going to call the CPIA. Because we need to implement the recommendation, because we level of implementation low, now that make we need to score more points. And that CPIA, where you get more points, it means you get access for more resources from the World Bank. So that alone, they also affect when development partners, programs, and as alone. So they not only affect the other citizens, but also overall how much they come into the country. And lastly, let we ensure say those issues will affect service the ordinary people. Then they also be giving more premium around education, around health, around other issues. Then.
Alright, plenty thank you. We join you inside the program. When I go to the curtain of the program, good morning, Salon. We come to you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We want to say